He was just a skinny kid from a small island, a boy who shared a single room with his siblings, a boy who cried when he left his mother because deep inside, he wasn't sure if he'd ever see her again. That boy's name was Cristiano Ronaldo. But this isn't just the story of a footballer. It's the story of a fighter who turned every heartbreak, every loss, every tear into fuel. The story of how hunger, pain, and obsession created one of the greatest players football has ever seen. Cristiano Ronaldo was born in Madeira in 1985. His family was poor. His father was a gardener and part-time kitman at a local football club. His mother worked long hours cooking and cleaning just to put food on the table. Many nights, the family had to survive on scraps of food left over from the restaurant his mom worked at. Cristiano once admitted he often went to bed hungry. But hunger became his companion. Hunger became his drive. From the age of 7, he kicked whatever he could find around the streets of Madeira: plastic bottles, tennis balls, even old rags tied together. But when he played football, the hunger faded. It was the only place he felt free. At 12 years old, his mother made the hardest decision of her life. She sent Cristiano away to Lisbon to join Sporting's academy. He left Madeira alone with nothing but a small suitcase and a dream. The first night in Lisbon, he cried. He was just a child, hundreds of miles away from home. He shared a room with other boys who teased him for his accent, for his skinny frame, and even for the way he cried at night. They called him a crybaby. But that crybaby was too stubborn to quit. Cristiano faced another battle few knew about. At just 15 years old, he was diagnosed with a racing heart. Doctors warned his career could be over before it even began. But he chose surgery. Within weeks, he was back on the pitch, faster, stronger, hungrier than ever. Sporting soon realized they had something special. By 16, he was training with the first team. By 17, he was already breaking through with dazzling dribbles and fearless runs. In 2003, everything changed. Manchester United played a friendly against Sporting Lisbon. Cristiano destroyed them that night. Gary Neville later said the players begged Sir Alex Ferguson to sign him immediately, and Ferguson listened. Cristiano arrived in Manchester at just 18 years old. He barely spoke English. He was skinny, and he wore flashy clothes that made teammates laugh. But he didn't care. Every day after training, when the squad left, Ronaldo stayed, practicing step-overs, free kicks, finishing until the sun went down. Even when teammates got annoyed, he didn't stop, because to him, training wasn't a choice, it was survival. But his time at United wasn't easy. He was criticized for diving, for showboating, for being selfish. He was mocked in the press and even targeted by defenders who kicked him endlessly. But Ferguson protected him like a father, and Cristiano delivered. In 2008, he had the season of his life. 42 goals, a Champions League trophy, a Ballon d'Or. The skinny boy from Madeira was now the best in the world. But then came Real Madrid. 2009, a world record 94 million euros. The weight of the Galacticos on his shoulders. People doubted him again. They said he'd never live up to the price tag. They said he'd never match Messi. But Cristiano thrived on doubt. For 9 years, he lit up the Bernabeu. Goals, records, trophies, nights of Champions League magic. He won 4 Champions Leagues in 5 years. He became Real Madrid's all-time top scorer with 450 goals in 438 games. An impossible ratio. And yet, he was still haunted by something deeper. He never got to share those moments with his father, who had died of alcoholism years earlier. Cristiano often said the pain of his father's absence still lives inside him. But instead of breaking him, it fueled him. This is why Ronaldo is more than just numbers, more than trophies, more than Ballon d'Ors. It's about the sacrifices, the obsession, the loneliness, the hours he spent when no one was watching, the hunger that never left. Even at Juventus, even at Manchester United again, even in Saudi Arabia, At nearly 40 years old, he's still chasing goals, still training like a teenager, still refusing to slow down. Because Cristiano Ronaldo's story was never about being the most talented. It was about being the most relentless. The boy who was mocked as a crybaby. The boy who nearly lost his career to a heart condition. The boy who left home at 12 with nothing but a dream. That boy became a king. And whether you love him or hate him, his story proves one thing: greatness isn't given, it's earned.